You're sitting at the table, surrounded by people, laughter around you, conversations flowing, but you're alone. It's not physical loneliness, it's something worse. It's feeling like no one really sees you, that you're there, but invisible. You try to participate, you smile at the right times, you answer when they ask, but inside, there's a wall you built yourself, brick by brick. Each disappointment a layer, each betrayal more cement. And now it's so high that even you can't see over it anymore. People try to get close, but you pull back, not because you don't want them to, but because you learned that loving is risking. And you've risked too much already. You've lost too much, so you choose the familiar loneliness over the pain of being abandoned again. But here's the truth, no one told you. You're not being protected by your walls. You're being imprisoned by them. Why are the people you want closest exactly the ones you push away the most? You're not crazy. You're not difficult. You weren't born this way. What you feel has a name, has an origin, and has a cure. Napoleon Hill called this destructive mental self-defense. It's when the mind builds protections so strong that they end up destroying exactly what you want most, connection. You don't push people away because you're bad. You push them away because you're afraid. Afraid of reliving the pain that almost destroyed you. Back then, someone important left, or stayed, but hurt you so badly you swore you'd never allow it again. And in that moment, your mind made a silent promise. I'll never let anyone that close again. It was protection. It was survival. But what saved you back then is imprisoning you today. Because now, every time someone tries to get in, your alarm system goes off. Danger, threat, run, and you obey. You create fights that don't exist. You find flaws where there are none. You sabotage relationships before they sabotage you. And when the person gets tired and leaves, you breathe a sigh of relief. I knew it. I always knew. But Hill said something profound. The mind that closes itself out of fear attracts exactly what it fears. You build walls to avoid abandonment, but the walls guarantee you'll be abandoned. It's a cycle, cruel, invisible, and you're trapped in it without realizing. Here's the truth that will hurt, but will set you free. You're not pushing people away because they're wrong. You're pushing them away because you unconsciously believe you don't deserve them to stay. That deep down, sooner or later, they'll discover who you really are, and they'll leave. So you speed up the process. You leave first. You push before being pushed, and you call it protection. But it's not protection. It's self-sabotage disguised as wisdom. Now comes the part that hurts, but it's the part that brings clarity. You need to see the pattern, the cycle that repeats without you noticing. Since childhood, since forever, you learn too early that people leave, that love isn't guaranteed, that being close means risking destruction. And there, in that moment, your mind created a rule. If I don't give myself completely, I won't suffer completely. Makes sense, doesn't it? But here's the problem. That rule keeps you in a permanent state of half-commitment. You're present, but not really. You love, but with one foot out the door. You open up, but only to a point. And when the person asks for more, you pull back as if you touched fire. The pattern works like this. Someone gets close. You feel something real. Your heart starts to trust. But then, fear arrives. What if this person hurts me? What if I give myself and they abandon me? What if I'm not enough? And before the pain happens, you create the pain. You invent a reason. You push away. This didn't start now. This started the first time you felt rejected. The first time someone chose something else or someone else instead of you. And since then, you repeat the same cycle. You attract whoever seems safe. You test them to the limit. And when it gets too intense, you destroy it. But here's the cruel trap. By pushing people away to avoid suffering, you guarantee the suffering. By building walls to avoid abandonment, you guarantee that no one stays, and the loneliness you fear so much becomes your most faithful companion. You look around and see couples, deep friendships, people who seem to have made it work, and you ask yourself, why is it different for me? Why do I always end up alone? The answer hurts, but it's liberating. You don't end up alone because people are bad. You end up alone because your walls are too high for anyone to climb. And the worst part? You blame others. No one understands me. No one makes an effort. People give up on me too easily. But the truth, The truth is that you give up first. And now you try to fix it the wrong way. You try to be nicer, more available, more understanding. You give even more of yourself hoping it will keep people around. But it doesn't, because the problem isn't how much you give. It's how much you allow yourself to receive. You give yourself, but you don't open up. You love, but you don't trust. And that's exhausting. Or you do the opposite. You close yourself off completely. If no one gets in, no one gets out. If I don't get attached, I won't suffer. But that doesn't work either, because the loneliness you feel now is greater than any pain of losing someone. The truth is this: you don't need to love more. You don't need to protect yourself more. You need to heal the wound that makes you believe being loved is dangerous. If you made it this far, it's because something in this video touched you deeply. Maybe you saw yourself in these words. Maybe you felt like someone finally understood what you've been carrying alone for so long. And if that happened, don't let this message get lost. Click the button right now and subscribe to the channel, because here you'll find more videos that help you understand your pain, heal your patterns, and discover the purpose God has for you, even in the midst of suffering. You don't have to continue this journey alone. Now comes the part that changes everything. The part where you stop understanding and start acting. Because understanding the pain isn't enough. You need to heal it. And healing begins with two simple but powerful actions. First action: name the fear before it controls you. The next time you feel the urge to pull back, to push someone away, to create a fight out of nowhere, stop, breathe, and ask yourself, what am I really feeling right now? It's not anger. It's not disinterest. It's fear. Fear of being abandoned. Fear of not being enough. Fear that history will repeat itself. Napoleon Hill taught that the human mind can only hold one dominant thought at a time. If you name the fear, it loses its power to control you. You pull it out of the shadows. You look at it and say, I know what you are, but you won't decide for me anymore. Write it down if you need to. Say it out loud. I'm afraid of being abandoned. I'm afraid of giving myself and getting hurt. When you name it, fear stops being an invisible monster and becomes just an emotion you can choose not to obey. Second action: let someone see you vulnerable. Just once. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be dramatic, but it has to be real. Choose someone who has shown they're safe and share something true. I'm afraid people will leave me. I know sometimes I push away those who get close. I'm trying to change that. That's it. Simple, honest, scary, but liberating. Psychology proves it. Vulnerability doesn't push away healthy people. It attracts them. Because real people don't want the perfect version of you. They want the real version. The version that's afraid but trying. The version that stumbles but gets back up. And when you allow yourself to be seen, something magical happens. You realize the world doesn't collapse. That the rejection you feared so much doesn't come. And slowly, brick by brick, the wall starts to fall. It won't be easy. It won't be fast. But it will be real. And for the first time in a long time, you'll feel like you're no longer imprisoned. You'll feel like you're alive again. And now, something shifts. Because this isn't just about psychology. It's not just about patterns and wounds. This is about you realizing you were never alone. Even when it seemed like you were. Even when no one stayed. God was always there. Not as an easy answer. Not as a spiritual band-aid. But as a silent friend. Waiting for you to lower your walls long enough to see him. There's a truth in the Bible that will change everything for you. It's in Proverbs 18:24. A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Do you understand what that means? It means you don't need walls, because there's a love that doesn't require protection. A love that doesn't abandon you when you show who you really are. A love that doesn't give up on you, even when you give up on yourself. All this time, you built walls to protect yourself from people. But God never needed to climb those walls. He was always on your side, waiting, whispering, you don't need to defend yourself from me. And there's more. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Did you read that? The fear that makes you build walls. The fear that makes you push people away. That fear doesn't come from God. He gave you power. Power to love without fear of being destroyed. He gave you love, True love that heals, not hurts. And he gave you a sound mind, discernment to know who deserves to come in, without having to close the door on everyone. Here's the promise. You don't have to choose between protecting yourself and being loved. You can have both, but not through your walls, through trust in God. Because when you understand that He will never abandon you, you stop being so afraid that people will. When you know His love is unconditional, you stop begging for approval from others. And when you realize He gave you the power to love with wisdom, you stop locking yourself away for fear of suffering. Loneliness can be overcome, not with more strategies, not with more control, but with faith. Faith that God is writing a bigger story. Faith that He didn't bring you this far to leave you alone forever. Faith can help you overcome this pain, because it shows you the problem was never you. It was never you being too much or not enough. The problem was trying to save yourself alone. And God is saying, you don't have to do that anymore. I'm here. Hey, if you got distracted, come back here with me right now and pay attention to this, because this is the most important part of everything I've said so far. You spent your whole life thinking the problem was the world, that people were cold, that no one understood you, that you were born to be alone. But now you know the truth. The problem was never that you were hard to love. The problem was believing you had to hide to be loved, that you had to be perfect to deserve someone staying, that you had to control everything to avoid suffering. But God doesn't ask for perfection. He asks for truth. He doesn't want the edited version of you. He wants the real version, the scared but courageous version, the broken but willing to be healed version. Napoleon Hill was right. The mind that closes itself out of fear attracts exactly what it fears. But he also taught that the mind that opens itself with faith attracts exactly what it needs. And you need connection. You need true love. You need people who stay, not because you became perfect, but because you became real. And real people attract real love. Walls attract loneliness, but vulnerability attracts presence. Loneliness doesn't disappear overnight. You won't wake up tomorrow without fear, but something has changed. You now know that fear doesn't have to decide for you, that you can feel fear and still choose to open up, that you may have been abandoned before, but that doesn't define your future. Proverbs 18:24 promised, there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother, and that friend is God. He never left you. Even when you pushed Him away too, He stayed, waiting for you to realize you never needed walls with Him. And 2 Timothy 1:7 reminded you, you have power, you have love, you have discernment. You don't have to choose between everyone or no one. You can choose with wisdom and trust that God will show you who deserves to come in. From now on, when you feel the urge to pull back, name the fear. When you want to push someone away, ask, is this real or is this protection? And when someone safe gets close, take a deep breath and let that person see you, not the strong version, the true version, because it's there, in vulnerability, that the magic happens. It's there you discover that being seen doesn't destroy you, that being loved doesn't require perfection, that you can lower your guard and the world doesn't collapse. And one day, you'll look around and you won't be alone anymore, not because you changed completely, but because you stopped hiding. And when you stop hiding, the right people can find you. You can change your destiny, not with more walls, not with more control, but with faith. Faith that God didn't bring you this far to leave you alone. Faith that loneliness isn't your final destiny. And faith that when you open yourself to Him, He opens doors you never imagined. The journey isn't over, but you're no longer trapped. The walls are falling, and for the first time in a long time, you can breathe and feel that you're alive, truly alive. If this message made sense to you, if you felt like someone finally saw the pain you've been carrying alone, then subscribe to our channel right now, because here you'll find more videos that help you understand why you suffer, heal the patterns that trap you, and discover the purpose God has for your life, even in the midst of pain. You don't have to continue this journey alone. For you who made it to the end of this video, I want you to do something for yourself right now. Go to the comments and write just one word, free. This is the spiritual promise God has for you today. You will be freed from the walls that imprison you, and true people will find you when you stop hiding. Existe una mujer en la Biblia que vivió exactamente lo que tú vives ahora. Su nombre era Agar. Ella no era elegida. Ella era sobra, usada, y cuando ya no sirvió más, fue descartada. Embarazada, sola, sin agua, sin dirección, arrojada al desierto como si no tuviera valor, sin mensaje de Dios, sin ángel en el camino, solo el sol quemando y el silencio pesando. Y fue allí, en ese abandono brutal, que sucedió algo que lo cambia todo. Dios apareció, no antes, no cuando ella estaba segura en la casa de Abraham, sino justo cuando estaba completamente sola. ¿Entiendes lo que esto significa? Dios no esperó a que estuviera acompañada. Él esperó a que estuviera aislada, porque allí, sin nadie que la socorriera, sin nadie que la validara, sin nadie que la distrajera, ella finalmente podía ver quién realmente estaba con ella. ¿Sabes qué hizo Agar? Le dio un nombre a Dios, el Roi, el Dios que me ve. Fue la única mujer en toda la Biblia en nombrar al Creador, y eso solo sucedió porque estaba sola. Ahora escucha esto con atención. Tu soledad no es rechazo, es revelación. Dios no te quitó la compañía de alguien para castigarte, te la quitó para mostrarte quién nunca salió de tu lado. La Biblia dice en Salmos 34:18, cercano está el Señor a los quebrantados de corazón. No dice cercano a los que están felices, no dice cercano a los que están acompañados, dice cercano a los quebrantados, a los que están en el suelo, a los que están solos. ¿Crees que Dios te abandonó? Él solo alejó a quien te impedía verlo. Y ahora, en el desierto de tu vida, Él quiere que lo nombres, que lo reconozcas, que entiendas. Él me ve, siempre me vio. Necesitas entender algo. Cuando Dios te aísla, no es crueldad, es estrategia. Él no te deja sola por casualidad. Él te posiciona, como un general posiciona a su soldado más valioso antes de la batalla decisiva. Agar estaba embarazada de Ismael, llevaba promesa en el vientre, pero estaba siendo destruida por dentro. Despreciada, humillada, tratada como nada. Y Dios vio todo eso. Él no intervino mientras ella estaba en la casa. No mandó ángel mientras Sara la maltrataba. No envió liberación mientras Abraham se omitía. ¿Por qué? Porque allí, rodeada de gente, ella todavía dependía de gente. Solo cuando quedó completamente sola fue que Dios descendió. ¿Y sabes qué hizo? No solo la consoló, la comisionó, le dio dirección, le dio identidad al hijo que llevaba, le dio futuro donde solo había desesperación. Esto es lo que sucede en tu desierto. Dios no te abandona, Él te encuentra, no te rechaza, Él te refina, no te olvida, Él te revela. La soledad que sientes no está vacía, está embarazada de propósito, solo que aún no has visto lo que se está gestando dentro de ti. Pero Dios lo ve, Él siempre lo vio. ¿Sabes por qué las personas correctas salieron de tu vida? Porque te impedían escuchar la voz que realmente importa. Pedías consejo, validación, aprobación, y Dios dijo, ahora solo me escucharás a mí. Esto duele, duele como el desierto dolió para Agar. Pero fue en el desierto que ella recibió el nombre de Dios, fue en el abandono que tuvo el encuentro, fue en la soledad que entendió, nunca estuve sola. Isaías 54:5 declara algo poderoso, porque tu Creador es tu marido. No dice, será, dice, es, presente, ahora. En este exacto momento en que te sientes abandonada, Dios se presenta como tu compañero eterno. No necesitas a nadie más validando tu existencia. Tienes al Dios de toda la tierra diciendo, yo soy suficiente. Y cuando entiendas esto, la soledad dejará de doler, porque te darás cuenta de que nunca estuviste sola. Solo estabas siendo preparada para reconocer a quien siempre estuvo ahí. Si este video está tocando profundo en tu alma, si sientes que Dios está hablando directamente contigo a través de estas palabras, entonces necesitas suscribirte a este canal ahora mismo. Aquí no es solo un canal más de mensajes, es un lugar donde Dios revela verdades que nadie te contó, donde tu dolor gana propósito y donde descubres que nunca estuviste sola. Haz clic en el botón de suscripción, porque las próximas revelaciones van a transformar completamente la forma en que ves tu jornada espiritual. Ahora viene la parte que lo va a explicar todo. ¿Por qué Dios permite que estés sola? ¿Por qué no envía a alguien inmediatamente? ¿Por qué el silencio, el vacío, la espera? porque Dios no te está quebrando, te está liberando. Pasaste años construyendo tu identidad sobre personas. Si Él me ama, tengo valor. Si ella me acepta, soy suficiente. Si alguien se queda, importo. Y Dios te vio desmoronarte cada vez que alguien se fue. Entonces hizo lo impensable. Vació tu vida, no para destruirte, sino para reconstruirte desde cero, sobre la base correcta, sobre Él. Agar huyó porque ya no soportaba ser despreciada. Pero en el desierto, Dios no preguntó si era bonita, útil o amada por alguien. Simplemente la vio, y eso bastó. Ella no necesitó probar nada, no necesitó encajar, no necesitó mendigar atención. Dios solo dijo, te veo. Y aquello sanó algo que años de validación humana nunca sanaron. Esto es lo que Él está haciendo contigo. Te está enseñando que no necesitas audiencia para tener valor. No necesitas relación para tener identidad. No necesitas que nadie te elija para ser elegida, porque Dios ya te eligió. El desierto no es castigo, es purificación. Cada persona que salió de tu vida se llevó un pedazo de dependencia emocional. Cada promesa rota arrancó una ilusión. Cada decepción removió una máscara. Y ahora, en el silencio, estás desnuda ante Dios, sin fingimiento, sin performance, sin intentar ser lo que otros querían, solo tú, cruda, real. Y Él te mira y dice, finalmente. Salmos 27:10 declara, aunque mi padre y mi madre me abandonen, el Señor me recogerá. No es consuelo, es promesa. Es certeza absoluta de que cuando todos te sueltan, Dios te sostiene. Estás siendo desintoxicada de relaciones tóxicas disfrazadas de amor, de validaciones vacías disfrazadas de afecto, de migajas disfrazadas de compromiso. Y duele. Duele como todo proceso de sanación duele. Pero del otro lado de ese dolor hay una mujer en la que Agar se convirtió. Una mujer que no ruega, no se humilla, no acepta menos, porque sabe quién la ve, sabe quién la sostiene, sabe que nunca, jamás estuvo sola. Dios no quitó personas de tu vida para dejarte vacía, las quitó para llenarte de Él. Y cuando estés llena de Él, no quedará espacio para quien solo quiere vaciarte. Ahora presta atención a esto. No estás sola por casualidad, no estás pasando por esto sin motivo. Fuiste elegida para un tipo de intimidad con Dios que multitudes nunca experimentarán, porque la mayoría de las personas vive rodeada de ruido, de gente, de distracción, y nunca escuchan su voz. Pero tú estás en el desierto. ¿Y sabes quién más estuvo en el desierto? Jesús, Moisés, Juan el Bautista, Elías, todos los que Dios apartó para algo mayor. ¿Crees que esta soledad es castigo? Es consagración. ¿Crees que estás siendo rechazada? Estás siendo refinada. ¿Crees que Dios te olvidó? Él te apartó. Agar no era princesa, no era profetisa, no era líder, era sierva, descartada, invisible. Pero fue ella, y no Sara, quien tuvo el encuentro directo con Dios en el desierto. Fue ella quien le dio nombre al Eterno. Fue ella quien recibió promesas sobre el hijo que llevaba. ¿Entiendes? No es la posición lo que te califica. Es la disposición de estar sola con Dios cuando todos te abandonan. No estás atrasada. Estás siendo construida. No estás olvidada. Estás siendo observada de cerca. No estás sola. Estás siendo entrenada para liderar sola cuando Dios te ponga al frente. Y llegará el día en que las mismas personas que te dejaron querrán volver. Pero tú ya no serás la misma. No aceptarás migajas. No rogarás por atención. No te conformarás con menos de lo que Dios prometió. Porque en el desierto aprendiste tu valor. No por lo que otros ven, sino por lo que Dios ve. El Roy, el Dios que me ve. Él ve tu dolor. Él ve tus lágrimas. Él ve tus oraciones silenciosas. Él ve cada noche que luchas sola. Y está diciendo ahora, no estás abandonada, estás alineada. Alineada con el propósito. Alineada con la promesa. Alineada con quien realmente eres. No con quien las personas querían que fueras. Eres hija del Altísimo. Heredera de promesas. Elegida antes de la fundación del mundo. Y este desierto es solo la antesala de tu destino. Cuando Dios termine de moldearte aquí, nadie te reconocerá, porque saldrás con su marca, con su voz, con la autoridad de quien pasó tiempo a solas con el Rey. Y todos sabrán, ella ya no está disponible para cualquier cosa. Ella conoce a quien la ve. Oye, si te distrajiste, vuelve aquí conmigo ahora y presta mucha atención a esto, porque esta es la parte más importante de todo lo que voy a decirte. Llegaste hasta aquí, y eso ya es una señal. Dios está hablando contigo, no a través de personas, no a través de circunstancias, sino a través del silencio que tanto temes. Agar salió del desierto transformada. Ella no volvió rogando por un lugar en la casa de Abraham. Volvió sabiendo quién era, sabiendo quién la veía, sabiendo que tenía un Dios que nunca la abandonaría. ¿Y tú? ¿Vas a salir de este desierto igual? ¿O vas a salir sabiendo que nunca más aceptarás ser tratada como invisible? Porque ahora sabes la verdad. Dios te ve. Cada lágrima que derramaste sola, Él la vio. Cada noche que rogaste por compañía, Él la escuchó. Cada vez que te sentiste descartada, Él te sostuvo. Nunca estuviste sola, estabas siendo preparada. ¿Y las 7 señales de que Dios te está protegiendo incluso cuando te deja sola? Aquí están. 1. Personas equivocadas salen de tu vida sin explicación. Dios no te debe justificación, solo te libera. 2. Sientes paz incluso en la soledad, porque su presencia reemplaza cualquier compañía. 3. Dejas de rogar y comienzas a confiar, señal de que estás madurando espiritualmente. 4. Oportunidades que forzaste se cierran. Dios te ahorra errores que llamarías victoria. 5. Te ves reflexionando más, orando más, buscando más. El desierto te empuja a la intimidad. 6. Tu identidad deja de depender de validación externa. Descubres quién eres en Dios, no en personas. 7. Entiendes que soledad no es abandono, es preparación. Y cuando Dios termine, ya no serás la misma. Entonces, respira profundo y di conmigo ahora: Dios me ve, siempre me vio. Y nunca más voy a dudar de eso. Si este mensaje tuvo sentido para ti, si sentiste a Dios hablando directamente con tu alma, suscríbete a nuestro canal, porque aquí no encontrarás mensajes vacíos. Encontrarás revelación, sanación y propósito. Y necesitas estar aquí para recibir todo lo que Dios aún va a mostrarte. Y para ti que llegaste hasta el final de este video, escribe en los comentarios: El Roy, el Dios que me ve. Esta es tu declaración profética. Dios está sellando sobre ti en este momento la promesa de que nunca más te sentirás invisible, porque Él te ve, y eso lo cambia todo. Espera, si te distraíste, vuelve aquí ahora y presta atención, porque lo que viene ahora es la parte más importante de todo lo que te dije hasta aquí.